Greetings, it's Adam at Arcade Galactic, and for our next rare game showcase, we're taking a look at the Spectre files, Deathstalker. This is a game that has a very interesting history behind it, and it's one of the rarest games that we have on location. Well, the back of the cabinet, which is kind of hard for me to get to here to show you, has a badge on it that says that it's 4 out of 10. I'm not aware of them selling many more after this. I don't know if they ever reached the full 10 production or not. I mean, I'll assume that they did, but even if they did, only having 10 of these in existence makes it pretty rare. Makes it more rare than the Act over here. But this was designed by Galloping Ghost Productions and Game Refuge. Now, what's interesting about this is that it actually is a remaster of an unreleased Laserdisc game. So here's the creator, Brian Collin, and this is where he was taking the old footage that he had shot back in 1984-85, around there, when he was working at Bally Midway. And of course, at the time, Laserdiscs were all the rage. You had stuff like Dragon's Lair and Space Ace and Firefox, and there was several other games that were claiming to be the future of gaming, and that it was going to bring all sorts of people back to the arcade. But by the time this game was about 99% complete, the bottom had fallen out of the Laserdisc market. The games were not very good, usually, and the hardware was extremely unreliable. I know with Dragon's Lair, the company that made that almost had to replace every single Laserdisc player inside of them because of just how bad they were. Now, you might be wondering, why on earth would we want to get a Laserdisc player game? Well, that's the nice thing about this remaster is Brian, he had all the footage and everything. They did have to do a little bit of completion and cleaning up on it. Of course, they remastered the clips and all that, but they also made it so that it doesn't have to use a Laserdisc anymore. So there is no Laserdisc inside of this cabinet. It's a hard drive, and they released this back at around 2017. And the controls on it are very, very simple. It's just 3 buttons. And as it mentions here on the bezel, that this is an interactive theater. Each time the movie stops, you must make a decision. Good choices advance the story, poor choices can be painful, and there are several ways to successfully solve the mystery as you are the star of this awful film. Basically, it's a cheesy, schlocky detective story, kind of a 1950s noir sort of thing, in color. But you're a detective trying to find a missing blonde who's missing at this place that's essentially a haunted house and is full of zombies and vampires and other grotesque creatures. And so you have to go through that, making good choices to reach the end and find the blonde or some other solution there. And so overall, this is a unique game. There's nothing else like it that we have at the arcade. And of course, because this is so rare, it's also not something you're going to find at most arcades on the planet. There's certainly nobody else in Utah that has this, or really any of the games that we have along our indie row here. So if you wanted to play something unique, this is definitely a way to go, and it's an interactive film. It does cost $1, but it is there's a lot more gameplay here than what you might get with some of the other games here. Even if you make the wrong choices, you can play for about 10 to 15 minutes. And so if you're really good at it, or you know where to go at least, then you can go on for even longer, and all on $1. Like, I think 30 minutes is about how long it takes to get through the entire game. But if you want to check out something different and unique, I mean, this is really 2 interactive movie games that we have, because the Act is, as I mentioned on that video, is along those lines, but I'd say the Act is more interactive than Deathstalker is, just because this is mainly play the clip and make a decision, whereas this has you actively molding the cartoon as things go. But either way, still, this is a great game. Can you beat the top score of 52,970 points? It's a good question. And so, yeah, we'll see you at the arcade. Give this one a try, and stay tuned for the next Rare Games Showcase. And if you don't know where to find us, we're inside the Valley Fair Mall near JCPenney and Ulta on the northern end of the mall. And so feel free to drop by and support a family-owned business. Thanks.